Test it one more time. Rules that travelers are still getting wrong in 2026. That sounds really negative, but I'm in that pool too. I have been flying for over 30 plus years, and even last week I got zinged. Today I'm going to go over the new rules, rules that have changed, rules that you may not even have heard of yet, so that before you go to the airport for your next trip, it can be easier. Let's hope, right? All of these videos that I put out as That Pilot Wife Lady are here to help you travel well, travel light, and travel in your own kind of style. In order to first do that, we have to figure out these changing rules. And there are so many. And even when we do everything right, we can still get zinged. More on that in a little bit. Today I'm going to cover the real ID. I know it's been over a year now. Stick with me. I'm going to cover power banks, because that's causing a lot of confusion between a TSA rule and an airline rule. Gate checking, but a few things to keep track of before you gate check that bag. Carry-on sizes, the ever popular liquids 311 rule. Let's fly into it. The first new rule for 2026 is the real ID. And I know you're thinking, this went into effect last May of 2025. This is not new. Yes, it is still new to some flyers. And that was made aware to me when I was traveling through the Tri-Cities airport about 3 weeks ago, and a couple was going on their trip. They did not have their real IDs. They had no idea what the real ID was. So I'm guessing they were not frequent flyers and maybe didn't check on this. Once you book that trip, or even today, even if you don't have a trip booked at all, grab your driver's license and check to see if it is a real ID or if you still have the old one. You'll see in the upper right corner some type of star. Some, like California, is a star within a bear. Some are just a gold star. Or if you like to be the very outlier gem, like Washington State, it will simply say enhanced ID. If you do not have a real ID, you cannot fly domestically even anymore. Sorry, you can fly. It's just going to be a little more of a process. One, you can bring your passport. That's considered a real ID. Or if you are in the military, you can use a military ID. Look on the TSA guidelines for specifics. Always go directly to the source. I'm giving you Cliff Notes to get you started, but you can refer to their website, and I will put it down in the description for a quick access for you. On the off chance you're leaving tomorrow and you do not have a real ID, the TSA has now put into place for a $45 fee at the time of filming this, you can get a manual check the day of. However, I felt so bad for this couple. So he had his military ID, so he was covered. She does not. That's fine. We'll use your phone. We're going to fill out some information. She forgot her phone at home. I mean, it was going bad to worse for them. And I had to get through security into my flight, so I don't know what happened, but I hope that they got it all figured out. If you do not have a passport and you do not have your real ID, you can get a one-time verification for a $45 fee if you have your phone with you, and fill out that stuff online, and then you'll be able to get through security. It's going to take time. If you've got your couple hours window, good to go. If you're cutting it close to your flight, it's going to get a little bit stressful. And this is where I also put in there, in your personal item bag, have some type of easy pocket that you can have your ID in and be able to get to it easily and quickly. And then once you've gone through your identification and you're putting your things on the belt, do not put any identification, jewelry that you'll have to come off. Don't put it in the gray bin. It is one of the most forgotten places. You would not believe how many cell phones the TSA collects, because they're just dropped in the bin. We're in a hurry. It's a little chaotic, and off you go. Put everything in your front zipper pocket, in some type of pocket, and then put it in the gray bin. Then once you get through security and get redressed, then pull that back out, put your driver's license back in your wallet, put your passport in a safe location, whatever your system is, so that it's secure and it's back in its place. As quick to get through, secure that in a zipper. Power banks. Whew, has this caused an uproar? Even on some of my Instagram posts or my YouTube shorts, I get some powerful comments. I wanted to address it when I have a little more time here in this long video. Yes, lithium batteries forever. We have not been allowed to put those in our checked luggage. Still the same, can't check them. However, new rules have come out by the airline, specific airlines. So again, I add in the caveat, if you don't have the airline app, today's a great day to download it. If nothing else, go to the website for the airline that you're flying and look up their power bank restrictions, because they have changed depending on which airline that you are flying. Southwest has now reduced down to 1 power bank per passenger. American Airlines allows you 2 power banks per passenger. They all have a little bit different rules now because of the fires that have started on airplanes. They're just trying to keep us safe. That's the long and the short of it. Where some comments I've gotten where they're not going to police this, they're not going to, well, we're adults. They shouldn't have to, and we should want to at 35,000 feet, want to know we're going to get from our starting point to our landing point without a fire breaking out. So no, they're making the announcements now, which if you listen, that has changed a little bit in the flight attendant's PA, but it's not going to be coming row by row to police us. Kudos to the gal, maybe it's been about a month now, who they made that new announcement, and she rang her flight attendant call button, told her, she says, my charger is in my check bag up in the bin, which we can't put them in our carry-on luggage and store them inside the overhead bin, because I mean, it's going to take us a while if it was to catch fire for someone to catch that. She got up out of her seat, opened her suitcase, pulled her charger out, put it with her in her seat. I mean, like, thank you for doing that. I mean, it might be a little embarrassing. We were getting ready to taxi out, but she's like, oh, didn't know that was a rule. Let me pull that out. Make sure that you're looking at the airline's rules and that you're following those. A general rule of thumb for most of them, I looked up the major airlines in the States. 1, not in your check bag, because if you have to gate check, that can get a little stressful as well, and you may forget. It needs to go in your personal item bag that is stored at your feet, not in the overhead bins. If you are using them in flight to charge your phone, they need to be out and visible, not hidden. They cannot be recharged in flight using the power ports on the airplane. So just make sure they're fully charged up before you go. Please check the airline that you're flying with. You can Google lithium batteries, portable chargers for Alaska Airlines, portable chargers for American Airlines, and it will pop up all of their information and their new rules that have been updated. Okay, that sounded really preachy, like really like, ugh. And I didn't want it to be preachy. I just wanted to stress the point of knowing before we go can make a travel day so much easier. And the more people that we tell about the new charging rules, the better it's going to be for all of us flying. Because say if one does spark or catch fire and we catch it, catastrophe averted. It's a good day. It may not seem like a good day, but it's going to be a better day than if this was in a checked piece of luggage up in the overhead bin. You know where I'm going with this. Information, more information, so that your travel day can be easy. An easy way to keep everything organized tech-wise is to have what I call an in-flight pouch. For shorter trips, I'll use my small Nomad Lane one, or my parallel bag that has, when I set it on the tray table, sits flat, which is really nice, has specific pockets, or for longer trips that I'm going to be packing extra, use my trip. It has so many pockets. This comes out of my personal item bag when I get in my seat, and it usually just sits in my lap or on the tray table after takeoff so that I can access my AirPods should I need a charger, any tech like that, as well as I'll slip in there some chapstick, my lotion, tech pouch, but also in-flight pouch. And by keeping those in that one spot, it's just pulling out the one bag. It keeps us organized. Pull it out from there, stick that under the seat. You're not digging under the seat during the flight. Makes it really easy. I can link mine below in the description if you're looking for one. Or sometimes some people just use their crossbody bag that they use, their third bag that they put inside their personal item bag, and use that as kind of their in-flight tech pouch. So that's another idea. The 311 bag. I know it feels like I've been talking about this since dinosaurs were checking bags at TSA security. We've had it for a while. Pretty much TSA came into effect, and it's still happening here in the States. But great news, some other airports, Dublin, London, they are expanding their liquids to 2 liters, Coke bottle size. So if you wanted to, you could pack your Costco size shampoo bottle. Until it hits the States, we are still limited to the 311 bag. What that is, as a quick refresher, is 3.4 ounces or less of liquid paste, aerosol gels have to be in a 1 quart clear bag. This one fits that bill, it's TSA approved, and you only get 1 per passenger. So any liquids you take need to go inside here. I have TSA pre-check and have not had to take out my toiletry bag in a very long time. But if you're an infrequent flyer, regular checkpoints, depending on the airports you go through, either keep this in your personal item bag so you can quick access if you do have to take it out, or in the top of your carry-on suitcase so that you just unzip that little piece at the top, pull it out, put it on the belt, and be on your way. The other way I get around the 311 liquid rule is I try and change everything possible that is a liquid, and I try and make it a solid so that I don't have to squeeze it into my liquids bag. Some examples of that would be my lotion stick, my everywhere stick, and it's lotion that is a solid. That's a gem. My washcloths, and these, I mean, tiny little puck, but they expand washcloth size. Olay melts, the small squares that when you put them underwater soap up to wash my face. Shampoo bars and shampoo conditioners, anything you can find. And if you have one already that I haven't mentioned, please put it in the comments, because I'm always looking, because for some reason this is always stuffed way too full. And anytime I can pack one out and put it in a different bag, I'm all in for it. So please share the love. And then the other way of helping us out through making things smaller is, of course, travel size containers. So these are my magnetic ones that I use. They have smaller ones also. My pouches, sometimes I take my shampoo and conditioner, my Olaplex. I was shocked, but my sister-in-law told me about these last year on our trip. They don't leak. I put them in a sandwich bag inside there just in case the first time I used them, because I'm like, those are really thin. Like, that's not gonna work. Haven't leaked once. Paper thin, you just stick them on the side there. Don't take up much room. Finding ways to make smaller. So travel size, and there's a ton of travel containers out there. Just pick your favorite to reduce things that you have to bring. Have to, like non-negotiable. My vitamin C serum, non-negotiable. Goes in a little container. If there are things that it's no big deal, don't pack it at all. And then once you get there, stop by a pharmacy, if you're international, or a CVS, Target, whatever, and pick them up there at your destination so you don't even have to pack them or waste space in your bag. Next up, your carry-on suitcase. This again varies by airline, not the TSA. Airline is the one that cares about the size because they're the ones who are restricted. Again, go back to your airline and double check the dimensions. A 20-inch suitcase is a good gauge. You can go up on some airlines up to 22 inches wheels to handle. But if you want a safe range for a majority of the airlines, sticking to the 20 is a pretty safe bet. But look at the airline you're flying. Please don't take just my word for it. Go to the airline's website. The reason for that is an airline buys their 737, right? But there are different versions of that 737 that the airline can request. We've gone through years where more leg room throughout coach, extra leg room, shrunk. They added more seats back into the plane. And now there's so many people flying, they're filling all those seats, so they're probably not going to change that in the back of economy. With that being said, as well as the overhead bins, you're flying on American Airlines over to Europe. Got it. I know those dimensions. Got my carry-on overhead bin. I'm all good. However, when you say last summer when we were flying throughout Italy, we used EasyJet and Ryanair. Very different airplanes. They're considered like the regional jets. Much smaller space. So we had to pay to check our bag. Did my parents? Some, I actually think we had to pay to check their personal item bag. Just depends on the airline that you're flying, but make sure you check every leg if you're not going the same airline on the way over, the way back, or in between, to make sure that this is going to fit. And one, you don't have to, here in the States, they'll usually gate check it for free, which is nice. Say if they're at capacity and all the bins are full, those later boarding groups will have to check their bag, but they're not charged. Some of the European airlines, they make it very clear on their website, measure your bag because you will be charged. The dimensions matter. Look up your airline that you're flying. If you fly multiple airlines looking for the best deal, stick below that 22 inches. I also add in here, do a weight check. When you check bags, those are weighed, and so you have to pay for extra weight, but make sure that you can lift your carry-on suitcase. I did an Instagram reel kind of as a little joke of like my exercise calisthenics with my carry-on bag. Not funny at the part where if you can't lift this into your overhead bin, it's going to be a problem, because long ago flight attendants would come by and help and put it up in the overhead bin. Well, now they do not do that. And it's not because they're being mean or unhelpful. They are not allowed to do that, because if they hurt themselves before the flight's even taken off, it takes a lot to get a reserve flight attendant to come take over that flight. You see where I'm going with this. The flight gets delayed. It's a big thing. Make sure that you or whoever you're traveling with can lift that carry-on. Because if you're like me, a follower had said this, and I love it. I'm a maximum minimalist packer. And that is me too. I stuff my carry-on suitcase as full as I can get it on some trips. If we're going for 2+ weeks, I double check and make sure that I can lift this if I'm traveling alone. Be aware that weight is an issue for a carry-on suitcase also. Now we've reached the part in our programming where we talk about facial recognition, Face ID, all of the new technology that has popped up. It seems like overnight. It wasn't overnight, but it sure seems like it, because there are a lot of changes in that. Let's cover the bare basics. The iPad that you see at most airports now is taking a photo picture. You hand over your driver's license or passport, and that's helping match the two together. Don't need to take out your boarding pass, your license, takes the picture vanishes after they're done, after they're verifying. If you don't want that, you can request not having that done, just budget in a little more time, and then you're on your way. The other identifications are a digital wallet, where now you can download your driver's license through the TSA and have that on your phone as well, so that you don't have to pull out your license or your boarding pass, and it's all right there. That's nice, it's quick when it works. The TSA PreCheck mobile ID, that is the one that has the little green circle above your QR code or your boarding pass, and that is a specific line separate from the TSA pre-check line where I don't have to take out anything. I walk up, stand on the two little footprints, does my picture, and off I go. The downsides to those. At the beginning of this video, I told you last week was the first time I did not print a backup boarding pass. I'm like, okay, I've finally done it. Like I finally feel secure enough that I have not been asked for my boarding pass. I get up there. My son goes through, driver's license, picture, off he goes. I go up, here's my driver's license, picture. He said, not accepting this. I need to see your boarding pass. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't print one off, so let me get my mobile one. No service. Of course. I'm the woman breaking out in the cold sweat, all the people behind me. Okay, step aside, try and load it, it's not loading. Okay. Race back out to the kiosk. Thankfully, sweet gate agent, she got me my boarding pass, went back through. TSA was phenomenal. They're like, just use the crew line when you come back through. We'll get you through quickly. Thank you. Don't depend on that. It may not happen in all airports. This group, it's a smaller regional airport, they were fantastic. All that to say, all of this new technology is great when it works. We are taking a flight later this afternoon. I will be stopping at the kiosk to print my boarding pass. Lesson learned, I'm gonna test her out a while longer and keep on printing it. Probably won't need it, but it's gonna be in my bag if I do. All of these things, again, you can look on the tsa.gov website and it goes over in detail. I'm just giving you quick cliff notes to be aware of, to look for your next trip in 2026 and beyond. In 2027, I'm sure I'm going to be back on here and giving you more updates, probably about the EES system over in Europe. That's not going so well. And their new ETIAS has been delayed because of it into 27. Make sure you subscribe and hit that little bell. You can get notified, so when I bring back more updates, you'll get notified and you won't be the one standing there. What do I do? You'll know already. The next piece is a quick 5 things that I never pack in my carry-on suitcase on the off chance that it gets gate checked. 1, my power bank. 2, my portable chargers, medications that are essential to me, passport, driver's license, identifications, and anything that I cannot afford to lose. All of it is going to go in my personal item bag only, that stays with me from beginning to end of the trip. Won't be checked. Ever. Never. I will put also this quick checklist up of things if you want to check through quickly, what to keep in mind before packing for your next trip so that you can pack a little easier and know that you've got everything in the right place. I also have packing checklists, 4 different ones for different destinations, and I'll put that link below in the description that if you want to download those, that's available to you. I think I've covered it all for the new and new-ish changes in 2026 when you fly. I'm that pilot wife lady on here to help you travel well, travel light, and travel in your own kind of style. I'll see you back here next week. Happy travels. The 3-1 1. Where did I put my lotion stick? Let me show you. Down here on eye level. Probably not going to be able to get back up. Here we go. I'm a Maximus